What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Welcome to week 13. Already week 13. Who would have thunk? It always goes by this fast, doesn't it? Here we are. Bills are 6-5. Is that new territory for us in week 13? I don't know. It's only the third time in the drought that the Bills have been over 500 as December started. It's the first since 2014. And remember what happened in 2014? They went to play the Raiders, and well, they were 7-6. They played the Packers. They got the 8-6. Then they went to play the Raiders, the 2-12 Raiders, led by Derek Carr and Khalil Mack, and they lost, and that crippled the rest of the season. Still mad about that one. I hope you are. I am. That one still hurts a little bit. Anyway, this past week, the Bills beat the Jaguars 28-21. You could call it an ugly win, I guess. It was kind of an ugly win, but it was a win nevertheless. That's what was necessary. It was definitely an ugly first half, I'll give you that much. The first half ended 7-6 Jacksonville. The Bills couldn't get literally anything going on offense. They got walked down the field on their first defensive possession. That first defensive drive was pretty tough. Chris Ivory was running the ball. Blake Bortles was running the ball. It was just bang, bang, bang. Bills are down 7-0. Half the first quarter's gone. Think, what's happening? They settled in a little bit thereafter. They definitely benefited from the Chris Ivory injury, but offensively they still couldn't get anything going. Their only touchdown was set up by the Tate punt return, which, special teams is part of the game, so that helps. They went for it on 4th and 1 there instead of kicking the field goal. I like to see that. And then McCoy caps it off with a touchdown. And then Carpenter misses the extra point, so it's like all this, and we're still down 1 point to Jacksonville at halftime. We really deserve to be. I think, what did they have in the first half? Maybe 60 yards of offense, something sad like that. Overall, this is a game that, at the end of the day, featured only 25 completed passes by both quarterbacks. Bortles had 13, Tyrod had 12. There were only 292 total QB passing yards. That doesn't include sacks, obviously, but, Tyrod Tyrod was 12 of 18 for 166. And, that is, sticking on Tyrod, that's like a first half number, isn't it? For most guys. I know that Tyrod is not most guys. I get that. And Tyrod was okay, I guess. Good. Definitely not great. But it's 12 of 18 for 166, and then he ends up throwing for a touchdown, rushing for a touchdown. A lot of guys do that in the first half. And we're not built that way. I understand. We're not built that way. The Bills have had more rush yards than pass yards in 5 of 11 games that they've played. And you know what? They're 5-0 in those 5 games. So we have a weird formula for success. And I've been one to advocate for throwing the ball and throwing the ball a lot. And I still think the Bills should do that, maybe a little bit more often than they do. But clearly the formula works a little bit. The last 2 games, the Cincinnati game and now Jacksonville, they've rushed for more yards than they've thrown for, and they've won them both. Not necessarily convincingly by 4 points and by 7 points. They scored 16 against Cincinnati, 28 this week, but this most recent week. But they're winning those games. But all in all, you're just over the surface of a 500 team. So it's a formula for success, but I don't know about consistent success, and that's what I guess kind of concerns me about that point. They've averaged 166 yards on the ground over the past 4 games. They've been pretty impressive in that regard. Running the football, they're number 1 in the league again. They're 1 yard better than the Dallas Cowboys, who have maybe definitely the rookie of the year in Ezekiel Elliott, and is he an MVP candidate? Could he be? Probably, but is he? Probably not. You're looking at the Matt Ryans and maybe the Derek Carrs of the world. Big Tom Brady, obviously. But, end of the day, there's not much to be mad about this game in particular. The Bills, they did what was expected of them. It was ultimately a game that they should have won and did win. It's like, good on you, Bills. I don't really know how to react to a game against the 2-8 Jacksonville Jaguars at the end of November when your, playoff hopes are maybe not great, but not dead in the water, obviously. So Jacksonville's just a game you're going to have. You have to have it. You absolutely have to. I could stand here and tell you that the defense was solid for most of the game. Obviously benefited from the Ivory injury, like I said. I was a little bit disappointed that they let Blake Bortles run for 81 yards. Quarterbacks combined for 119 rushing yards. And only 292 passing yards, like I said. It's not a pretty game from both sides, but you got to come out on top of that game regardless. And I have to give the Bills a little bit of credit because that's what they did. They did whatever it took to win, whether that was, stopping the Jaguars on 4th down after they get delay a game on 4th and 4. Like, whatever. That's the Jaguars in a nutshell for you. That's not, whatever. You don't have to apologize for these kind of things, like I said. This week is the real test now. Now you're dealing with the real test. The Oakland Raiders. You have to show me that you have grown at all. Have you grown at all in this 17-year playoff drought? This is the type of game. I apologize real quick if the brightness is going in and out because it's bothering me as I'm recording this, but it's an issue with the recording device, and I'm too cheap at the moment to get a new one. Yeah, maybe I'll get one for Christmas. I don't know. Okay, I just wanted to throw that out there. It's an iPad. The screen is cracked. It goes in and out. Okay? Just wanted to address that. If there's any issues in previous videos, this video, whatever. Moving on. The Raider game. This is a game that's truly eluded them throughout the entire drought. They have been bad a lot in the drought. They have been good at times. I don't know about very good, but good. 2014, they were good. And they got the Raider game, and even though they were bad, it still eluded them, which is just kind of coincidental. Maybe a bit ironic. There's a signature road win across the way, and the Bills just don't get it. Right now, you're chasing the AFC West. You're playing against the AFC West. They're 9-2. Let's get this off the ground. You beat the Raiders. You get this off the ground. I think fans coming off this Jacksonville win were like, well, I'm not really buying into the Bills yet. Why, or buying into the fact that the playoffs are a possibility. I mean, maybe you are a little bit more because they had to win. They're 6-5. The Broncos are 7-4. You're only one game out. The Dolphins are 7-4. You get to play them again. The Steelers are there. You get to play them. But in order to do that, you have to show them, the fans, that you're really serious. That you're seriously a good team. That you can put together a good performance, even on the road, against a team, a really good team, like the Raiders. And are the Raiders a really good team? I guess is another question. Who are the Raiders? They're good. How good are they? It's taken 5 fourth-quarter comebacks or something like that for them to, I believe Derek Carr, 5 fourth-quarter comebacks this year, right? Or led, they were tied or trailing, and he led the game-winning drive to get to 9-2. That could have easily went the other way in a couple of those. But he has 5 this year, and we're just sitting here begging for Tyrod to sort of have 1. I guess technically he did it against Jacksonville. They were down 1 point, and they scored with 10 minutes left and held on, but whatever. Does that count? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know how that counts. Maybe it was inside 2 minutes for Derek Carr. I don't have the official stat, but whatever. I got to give credit to Derek Carr regardless. The offense is 5th in the league. They're 7th in yards per play. They're 11th in first downs per game. Just 17th in third down percentage, but that has been a problem area for the Bills recently. They're 21st overall in third down defense, and it just seems like they can't get off the field when they need to. It drives me absolutely insane. Raiders, continuing, 29th in total defense. But oddly, touching on the third down thing real quick, if I can go there, they're 4th in third down defense. But 28th in total third downs faced. So I guess there's a couple ways of looking at that. But 29th in total defense, 10th most points per game allowed. They're tied for dead last in yards per play against, tied for 21st in first downs per game against, 28th in pass defense. They've given up 44 plays of 20 or more yards. That's tied for the second most. They've given up 13 plays of 40 or more yards, and that is the most in the NFL. They're 26th against the run and tied for third in most yards per carry allowed. They have holes on defense. Like Khalil Mack is there. Yeah, he's a nice player. Don't get me wrong. That guy is a nice player. But there are holes in that secondary, and there are holes in the second level, and the Bills can't exploit them. The opportunities are there to score against the Raiders. You got to keep up with their offense. The offense is probably going to get their points. Ron Darby's probably not going to play with a concussion. I will say I did see him after the game on Sunday. He's up and awake, but he seemed kind of out of it. And I understand that. I suffered a mild concussion one time myself. It was awful. All you want to do is go to sleep, and they tell you not to go to sleep. It's the worst. And Darby's not practicing all week, or at least up until the recording of this video, which is Thursday, so I would anticipate not having him out there. So you got Gilmore on Crabtree and Cooper, depending on which side they line up on, and then you got Kevon Seymour playing outside instead of Corey White maybe, on a veteran receiver. They have that little gnat, Seth Roberts, who somehow, I don't really know. I don't want to say I don't really know. He never really has tremendous statistics, but man, Derek Carr finds this guy in the red zone all the time. Drives me nuts. Clive Walford, big tight end. They have huge offensive linemen. The Osamali, and if you're a Raider fan, please correct me on that. I can't think of it. Donald Penn is there. He's huge. They're big. They hold a lot. They're top of the league in penalties, near the top of the league in penalties. They set the NFL record this year for penalties. So let's take advantage of that. They're big offensive linemen. They don't move that well. Latavius Murray's had some nice games. He scores touchdowns in the red zone, but he doesn't really average that much in terms of yards per carry, I don't think. I've seen him a bunch of times. Got him on the fantasy team. 19 carries for 40 yards, 45 yards. Happens all the time. Can exploit that. Use your speed rushers. Use your Lawsons and your Alexanders and your Jerry Hughes. I'm intense right now, guys. I'm feeling intense. I'm not sure what to... I'm excited. We're playing the Raiders with, playoff implications. We might need Tyrod to Tyrod like he Tyroded in Seattle. We might need that one. I'm not sure this methodical, run-heavy approach is enough to beat them. I'm scared to death of Khalil Mack on Jordan Mills because Cliff Averill ate Jordan Mills up. Khalil Mack certainly can. I'm still having nightmares of Khalil Mack killing Seantrell Henderson, metaphorically speaking. I'm not trying to be insensitive. Whatever. Okay, forget I said that. Of him killing Seantrell Henderson on the field in the 2014 game. Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought there. 2014. Khalil Mack was killing Seantrell Henderson. So, but the statistics don't lie. I hope Goodwin's okay. He left practice on Thursday with a wrist injury. I hope he's okay. Sammy, don't know how much he's going to play. I wouldn't freak out about that. We all kind of knew he had a broken bone in his foot, didn't we? Didn't we? We did. To answer your question, we did. Anthony Lynn talking and Rex Ryan talking, I tried to tune it out. Because the Bills will lie to you in the media and they don't really care. And there's nothing wrong with that. Literally nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to pick this game. The spread is only 3. That's a standard spread for a home team. They're 9-2. The Bills are 6-5. We have a real shot. Vegas thinks we have a real shot. I think we have a real shot. Does that mean I think we're going to win? No. No, it doesn't. Here's what I'm going to predict. I'm going to say the Raiders are going to beat the Bills out west. It's going to be, like I said, I think the Bills are going to be in it late. Spread's only 3. That's 28-24. 28-24 Raiders over the Bills. That doesn't mean it's done. Like, it's going to be tough. They'll definitely have to win out after that. But, like, another thing, stop selling your tickets. Like, there's 5,000 tickets available for the Steelers games. If you've been to a Steelers road game or, like, Bills, whatever, you know they travel really well. There'll be terrible towels behind that Steelers bench. Like, it'll be a home game for them. We can't have that. The Steelers aren't supposed to be good on the road outdoors. We're going to need that game regardless of whether we win or lose. So, be there. Guys, thanks for coming this far in the video. Thanks for bearing with me with the brightness problems and whatever. Let me know what you think. Comment, Twitter, same Twitter handle, same as YouTube username. Have a good weekend, guys. As always, go Bills.